Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MMA Kingdom, King JB's back. Man, what a fucking weekend it's been. Basically, this is going to be my LFC 48 review. We're definitely going to talk about this huge event. If I look like shit today, trust me, I've had one of them weekends, man. I've drank a lot, I've worked a lot. That's how it goes. Big shout outs to our sponsors, man. Gorilla MMA, you know how it is, man. We've had a hell of a weekend. I've kicked it with them most nights. I think they're finally back in Cali now, man. So big ups to Gorilla MMA, NRB Sportswear, MMA Fit Club. I want to give a special shout out to the Legends of Fighting Championship, though, man. They showed me a lot of love, man. They had my MMA Kingdom and MMA Affiliates Radio logo everywhere. They showed me a lot of love with the ring announcers, with just a lot of things, man. And I want to give a lot of shout outs to Matt Gunning and Scott Sims and Scott McCorkle. Thank you very much, man. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys recognizing that I show a lot of love to y'all, and you guys return the favor. And I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me and what I'm trying to do here. So I thank you very, very much. With that being said, big ups to the rest of our sponsors, MMAMadhouse.com, Mobsters Fight Gear. Man, LFC 48 weekend in general was just, woo! Starting off with the weigh-ins, we went to the weigh-ins Thursday night, packed. Like I said, man, they finally got the weigh-ins very organized, looked good, but still there was so many fights, there was so many people around, it was just insane. The big news from the weigh-ins, though, was that Gorilla MMA got a sponsorship deal, and they were the first people to sponsor Sean McCorkle in a local fight. Big news for Gorilla MMA. They sponsored the event. They were co-sponsors of the event, and they also will be sponsoring LFC 49 and LFC 50. Weigh-ins were cool. The day of the fight, I helped put up the cage. Then we had the fight, and the day after, I helped take down the cage. So I was pretty busy the entire time. I've started to get the videos uploaded. I'm working on it. Now, I'm going to go over the card here. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have the right order here, but we're going to go through it anyway. So I'm going to go through the amateur fights first, and then we're going to get into the main fights. I do have a lot to talk about, including the bitchness of Alex Rosman. Did Chad Eaton tap in his fight with Keandre Howard? I'm going to be making some extra videos to go along with this, so big ups to everybody, man. I appreciate everything you guys did. Also want to give a shout out to the young lady and her husband or boyfriend, whatever, that sits behind us. I'm trying to think of her name. Man, I can't think of her name, but she sits. You know who I'm talking about. And big ups to you. You made the program for us. I wish I was looking at the computer right now because I would know who you are. Blonde lady with the brother husband. Very good people, man. They made this wonderful program that had all my predictions in it. I feel like a real asshole because I don't remember your name, but I will as soon as I get on as soon as I get on the website. Funny, man. Jason Buck's blood is all over this, and one of my hoodies. Man, I feel like a real asshole. I wish Spivey, April Spivey, I believe the name is. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But thank you, Mrs. Spivey or Miss Spivey. I don't know which one. So I do want to thank you very much for all your love, man, that you show me and my wife and just what I do here. It means a lot. All right. Big shout out also to Big Elk, Jeremy Elkins, who was here for the event. He's from 5 hours away. Big ups to him, man. He came to the show. You know, it was good to see him. He fights Chad Eaton in September. Alright, with the amateur card, we're going to go through some things. Lloyd Thornton and Lester Wright. Great fight. This is probably the amateur fight of the night. It went to the decision. The first round, Lester Wright, sorry. He had 2 takedowns. I definitely gave him the first round 10-9. He definitely looked pretty good there. In the second round, Thornton, though, he had a nice sub attempt, some ground and pound. He looked real good on his feet. Lloyd Thornton, man, he was real quick, real athletic. Got to give him a lot of credit, and he had a takedown. I gave the second round to Thornton 10-9. Third round, Thornton got a knockdown. There was some great transitions by Thornton and Wright during this round. But due to the knockdown, I gave Lloyd Thornton the third round as well, 10-9. So my official score was 29-28 for Lloyd Thornton. The bad news is that the judges gave it 29-28 for Lester Wright. A lot of boos in the crowd. I know that a lot of people disagreed with that decision, and I for one, am one of them. I think Lloyd Thornton won that fight. So big ups to Lloyd Thornton and big ups to Lester Wright. I think it was a great fight. Maybe you guys should do it again. Next up, in a bantamweight fight, we got Jason Stroud and Eddie Krister. This was a great fight. I was really excited about this fight. Jason Stroud came out. He got locked in a triangle and got the submission a minute 20 into the fight. And it was pretty immediate. Jason Stroud just looked fucking good, man. He got this triangle in, and the transition in the triangle. Krister tried to get out, but Stroud just locked it on, man. And I didn't know Stroud was that good. Stroud is pretty good, fucking good. If you didn't know that, wait till you got to watch the video. Jason Stroud is very good, and he's going to be a good threat. I think he's 6-3 now overall. I don't think that's a sanctioned record, but I believe he's 6-3. But Stroud looked good, so big ups to Stroud. Submission triangle. Now Johnny Neville and James Bubb. This was a fight I actually ended up going to the bathroom. I didn't get to see the entire fight because it wasn't very long. A minute 15 in, there was an armbar submission for James Bubb. Oh, I take that back. I did see the entire fight. What happened was that actually Johnny Neville hit a great slam, man. It was a good slam. I was very impressed by the slam with Neville. But he ended up getting caught in the armbar, and James Bubb pulled out the victory a minute 15 into round 1. When Neville hit the slam, I thought it was about to go. I thought Neville was about to pull off a second win of his career. Neville's a great kid. I love Johnny Neville. I love the whole Neville family. I really wish them the best. They just didn't have the most luck last night, and sometimes it's like that, man. You know, anybody that knows the Nevilles, though, they always come to fight. They're going to be at every show. And that's why I have so much respect for the Nevilles. But big ups to James Bubb. He came out, I believe, his debut and got the win. You got to give him credit. So, I mean, James Bubb pulled it off. Next, we had Sean Bottoms and Kevin Groff. Sean Bottoms was originally supposed to challenge for the featherweight title. Now, the featherweight champion, Luis Guerrero, was in the house, and it was good to see him. Hopefully, I got Gorilla MMA pushed his way, and hopefully he'll have a decent sponsor for when he turns pro. Kevin Groff, who started off it seemed like not very confident, but I think I hyped him up and a lot of different people hyped him up, and come fight night, I think he was confident. The problem is, confidence didn't do a whole lot for him. Bottoms got a takedown and transitioned to a rear naked choke a minute 19 into the fight and got the submission win. It just is what it is. Kevin Groff, I wish him the best, and I think he's a great fighter, and I think he'll continue to try to be, move on to the next level. Sean Bottoms impressed me with his first fight. Definitely has some ability. Sean Bottoms, I do want to see him and Luis Guerrero now. Hopefully we can get this fight going in October or December. I think it's a fight that needs to happen. Sean Bottoms, congratulations on your win. Luis Guerrero, you got a challenger on your hands. Kevin Groff, don't worry about it. You'll come back strong. Take a little time off, man. You've been fighting every show. All right, moving on. Joe Lau Jr. undefeated against Cameron Van Camp. Joe Lau Jr. First of all, the first round was very, very good. It was great stand-up. Van Camp even got a slam. It had knees to the body. Cameron Van Camp, in my opinion, dominated round 1. I gave it to him 10-9. Joe Lau Jr. There's a lot of hype behind him, and with good reason. Joe Lau Jr. is a beast, and he trains with a wonderful crew up there with Joe Lau, senior, obviously. I think they train in Carmel. Excuse me. But they do good work, man. Joe Lau Jr. came back, though, in the second round, and immediately, 24 seconds in, got a rear naked submission. Great fight, great fight. Joe Lau Jr. looked good. Cameron Van Camp in his debut looked good. So, definitely excited. A moment we were all waiting for. Welterweight fight. Nobody expected Donnie Bishop to get a fight. I actually didn't think he was going to get one. I'll go into that another time. Brad Woods, who was originally supposed to fight Aaron Meadows, he ended up getting the call. Brad Woods and Donnie Bishop stepped in there. Donnie Bishop actually looked pretty good. I was impressed with Donnie Bishop at first. But Bishop, despite the fact that he had a choke in, which I thought he may be able to pull it off with, there was a takedown and mount, and the ground and pound TKO win for Brad Woods a minute 7 into the fight. So, you know, big ups to Donnie Bishop for actually getting in the cage, man. But he did suffer the loss to Brad Woods. Apparently, this is Bishop's first loss, according to him. We'll see. I don't necessarily believe that. I think we got his record as 4-5 now, but we'll find out. Let's see here. DeMar Gibson and Joe Rainey unfortunately did not get to happen. I don't know the details, but I know DeMar Gibson was ready to fight. We thought he was going to fight Donnie Bishop. Big ups to Joe Rainey though. From what I understand, there's a personal situation. I really wish the best. I know you were ready at weigh-ins, and I hope everything works out. Moving on, Chad Eaton, Keandre Howard. Actually, before we get into that, we're going to go with the light heavyweight fight. Jeremy Bowman, Tony Blair. Dominance. Takedown, striking, the mount, TKO, 2 minutes in, 36 seconds in. Jeremy Bowman was exactly what I thought he was going to be. Intense. He's now 4-0, stayed undefeated. He's one of the best in the division. He's a scary dude. Scary, scary dude. But he's a good dude to talk to. Jeremy Bowman is definitely at the top of his game. Anyone in that 205 division, I fear for. Because I really think that until this kid goes pro, he's the man in that division. In fact, I'm probably going to put him as #1 in the amateur rankings for 205. He just has an amazing amount of intensity. So Jeremy Bowman, amazing job. You got the TKO win. I'm very, very impressed, like I knew I would be with you. Good job, man. Jeremy Bowman. Keandre Howard and Chad Eaton. Very controversial fight. Round 1. There was a takedown. There was a takedown for, I believe, Keandre. He got the takedown. He got the mount even, kind of a half mount. And he landed some ground and pound. Knees to the belly and all that. He got a Darce choke in. Me, the commission, my wife, everybody at that area around the cage, we all saw Chad tap. I know Chad tapped. But, you know, with all due respect, Chad says he didn't, and who am I to say he didn't? Maybe he really was repositioning his hands. And during his reposition, maybe he just felt like, you know, tapping on Keandre a little bit to say, hey, how are you doing? I don't really know for sure. But I will say this, that in my opinion, the first round should have been won by, it should have been over then. Keandre Howard with the victory. But it wasn't. Second round come, we had a TKO after a takedown and mount by Chad Eaton. Keandre had the doctors over him. He laid there for quite some time. This was 53 seconds into the round. Keandre then lost the fight, second round. So, even though I think Chad tapped in the first round, I do not believe that we should ever go back and change the outcome of a fight. So I do think that Chad Eaton won the fight. Should he have won the fight? No. But I'm not the referee. It's not my job to do that. The commission saw it. If you were listening to the video, you see the commission even asked me if I saw it. Truth of it is that Chad Eaton tapped in the first round. I don't care what anyone says. But he ended up winning the fight. So a lot of controversy here. Big ups to Keandre Howard. You know, I think the answer to this is definitely a rematch. No question about it. If you want to look at the video, look at round 1. It's at the 1 minute and 40-second mark. You'll see Chad Eaton tap to the Darce choke. Some people disagree. Some people definitely agree. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Chad Eaton's hand was raised, and he was the winner of the fight. And I have to say this, you know, Keandre was getting checked by doctors. He got his ass whooped in that second round. There's no way around that. So who really won the fight? It's hard to tell. I know Keandre was being looked at by doctors and had trouble getting up at the end of the fight. So it's hard to really tell. But it was a great fight. It was exciting as I thought it would be. The crowd loved it. Big ups, man. Big ups. So I was really happy to see it. Big ups to both men. Keandre for your submission in the first round, and Chad for your TKO in the second round. Y'all gave me 2 finishes. So I can't get much happier. Thank you very much. Moving on to the pro card. Let's see. Brian Neville and Josh Kinzer. I picked Brian Neville as my upset of the month. That definitely did not happen. In fact, it didn't even come close to happening. Josh Kinzer won by a minute 53 in. He did some lay and pray bullshit, just to be honest. He got the mount, the takedown, and he ended up getting him in an arm triangle. But, you know, for basically the first minute and 52 seconds of the fight, he laid on him. That's just the truth. Then he got the arm triangle and got the win. So was I impressed with Josh Kinzer? Absolutely not. But he did get the victory. There was a lot of strikes thrown into the back of Neville's head. The question is did the referee notice it? Apparently not. Rob Madrigal was the referee. Gary Copeland refereed a couple other fights. You'll see him at Strikeforce at the September 10th event. But Josh Kinzer got the win nonetheless. Tom Osborne ended up fighting Matt Wilson. Man, Tom Osborne is a fucking amazing 41-year-old dude. 36 seconds in, he won by rear naked. He hit him with a fucking flying Superman punch off the cage that knocked him down. It was hype in the interview, hype in the introduction. Tom Osborne is the fucking man. Period. I'm a Tom Osborne fan. Now, I hope he's not done. 41 years old. I want to see him again. Big ups to Matt Wilson, though, for taking the fight on 2 days' notice because Mike Lindquist is a dumb fuck. Anyway, moving on. Kurt Kinzer, Jason Buck. Jason Buck was dominating at first. That's the truth. Kinzer ended up, though, at the end of the first round, busting him open with elbows, just fucked him up. Jason Buck's blood was all over my shirt, my table. Had my wife freaking out, all kinds of shit. The blood was just everywhere. And you know, Kurt Kinzer pulled it out, man. He just looked outstanding towards that. He got the ground and pound. They stopped it, doctor stoppage at the end of the first round. TKO win for Kurt Kinzer. Kurt Kinzer moves to 5-0 as a pro. Definitely probably UFC bound, I'm telling y'all now. I gotta see Kurt Kinzer versus Clay Guida. That would be some fun shit. I think it's the battle of the hair. Anyway, moving on. Daniel Nuttall, man, he's just a clown, man. He was wonderful with his Muay Thai clinch. He played with Joe Neese, who was 16 pounds over the whole fight. Just nailed knees and ground and pounds and takedowns. 4 minutes and 31 seconds got the TKO. He came over to my camera, did some push-ups. Big ups to Daniel Nuttall, man. One of my favorite fighters in the state right now. He just clowned. He played with him in the Muay Thai clinch the whole time, man. Joe Neese, get your shit together, man, because that was a horrible, horrible performance. And not just that, your weigh-in's 16 pounds over. That's not a professional thing to do. JB Houston pulled his 5th sub in a row, 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the fight over DJ Jones. Very big win for him. I didn't see the submission actually, but I know that DJ Jones was in the back, cut open. He gave it. He came from Cincinnati and fought his heart out. Big ups to DJ Jones. JB Houston with his 5th submission in a row. Definitely big ups to both men. Main event, Sean McCorkle, Alex Rosman. A minute 29 in, tapped to strike. Sean McCorkle won. Alex Rosman is a bitch. Period. He got mad. He tapped the strikes, then he gets mad and wants to try to kick open the cage door and leave. Of course he was booed. He acted like the referee stopped something that shouldn't have been stopped. I was standing right there. Alex Rosman tapped the fucking strikes. Period. And then he doesn't want to stand up in the center of the cage and let McCorkle get his hand raised? What a bitch. No wonder you're 2-14, and I hope that you never get a job back in Indiana again, man. You suck. Period. And I normally don't do any fighter bashing. I'll whoop your motherfucking ass. You all juiced up on them steroids, and we all know it, looking like Brock Lesnar, but you can't take a fucking punch. You can't take shit. Alex Rosman sucks. Period. Period. And I'm keeping it real. And I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna write an article on it and everything, man. You acted like a real bitch at this show. Alex Rosman sucks. Big ups to Sean McCorkle. And then he even called him out in an interview afterwards. Talked about, you know, he didn't have any balls, and that's true. Alex Rosman doesn't have any balls. You know, steroids shrinks people's balls up, and that's just the truth. I wish the commission would, you know, I know they take their blood test, man, but I think they missed it with Alex Rosman. No question, man. I'm telling you, man, that dude's juiced. With his little stars in his head. How you gonna be 3-13 and have little stars cut in your head? You ain't no fucking star. God damn, man. Alex Rosman sucks, man, period. And he's a bitch at that. Big ups to Sean McCorkle. Big ups to the LFC, period, man. This was a great fucking show. I enjoyed it. The females, unfortunately, didn't get to fight, man. We're all sad about that. Jolene Ott, man, what happened, man? You had all your paperwork. You just didn't bring it to the show? I blame that on management. No question about it. That's management's fault. Big ups to Ashley Delp, man. She was there. She was ready to go. Matt Mitrione was there. He had an interview, man. Big ups to Matt Mitrione, man. They're starting a new gym here. Him and Chris Lido and everybody here in Indiana. Big ups to them, man. With that being said, LFC 48's in the books, man. 49's coming. You may hear me commentating. You may see me fighting. Trust me. Big news with King JB and the LFC coming very soon. The New World Order is here. Guerrilla MMA, the MMA Kingdom, and LFC. The Illuminati, baby. We here. I'm out.